and welcome to episode 2 of Praising Pixels. My name is Mark Paris, and I thought for this episode it'd be fun to kind of go over some of the games that I've been playing in 2022. This year so far has been really
fantastic
for games, and there's actually a lot of new games I've been playing that I've really been enjoying, but I want to just focus on a handful that have really caught my attention and I'd like to share with you guys. So this first one actually came out on PlayStation at the beginning of the year. Technically it had came out earlier on PC and Xbox, and that game is Deep Rock Galactic. Now this is a 4-person co-op objective-based shooter, which kind of sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook, but essentially I kind of equate it to a mix between Left 4 Dead and Minecraft. Now the narrative of the game is basically you're a dwarf on this galactic mining ship, and you go on missions with 3 other players to extract ore or set up pipelines or whatever the case may be while fighting off the indigenous bugs that are on the planet. Now the carrot on the stick on this game is that there's so many different skills to unlock, weapons to unlock, cosmetic items, and as a games as a service type game, they're constantly going to be adding new things for you to unlock. I've really enjoyed playing this game. I thought it's been really a fun multiplayer game to play with other people. I have played with randos online. I even found that to be enjoyable because it is solely co-op. There's really no reason to be bickering and fighting with your other teammates. You're really all in this together, and I can't recommend it enough. It really shows that it's a super polished game that went through that early access process and has really been dialed in and is super enjoyable. So, rockin' stone.
Rockin' stone forever!
Another game I wanted to talk about was Ollie World. This is the third in the Ollie series, and this is a 2D skateboarding game with kind of simplistic controls, but the game throws so much at you. At some point when I was playing it, my consciousness kind of faded away, and it was just my motor skills and my brain reacting to what was on the screen. And once you get into that flow state, this game can be really fun. I also think it was really nice that they've adjusted their art style. It looks a lot like Adventure Time, and I think that was a really smart move on their part to really catch people's eyes, because I think the other two games, while they looked fine as like their kind of pixel art style, I think this game really pops with its vibrant colors and art style, and I think it'll draw more attention than the other two previous games. And beyond that, again, just a really fun, enjoyable game. Another one that came out actually on the exact same day as Ollie World was Sifu. Now this is a third-person 3D brawler with a unique death mechanic wherein every time you die, your character will age a number amount of years, and once you get past the age of 70, the game and your run is over. This is a really challenging game that recently just had an update to actually add different difficulties, but at its core, it is very fun, satisfying, and again, another beautiful game that has really interesting environmental art. It does a lot of different things with the environment and changing the environment as you progress through the levels. Again, a tough game, but really enjoyable when you beat some of those tough bosses. Another game I've really enjoyed is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. I think Horizon and the game series probably has the best translation from concept art to the actual game. When I first saw this game many years ago, and just the concept art of kind of these nomadic people fighting these giant robot dinosaurs, it looked visually stunning, and then to actually see the game in motion and in action, it's kind of unbelievable how close they got that one-to-one. And besides that, the story's pretty interesting, and the gameplay is really tight and smooth, and it is a little bit challenging as well. So if you like the games that push back a little bit, there are definitely some enemies in here that will, be testing your reflexes and your resource gathering. Now, I couldn't talk about games of 2022 without talking about the belle of the ball. Probably easily the best game that's come out this year, and I am of course talking about Elden Ring from Software. This is not a direct sequel to any of the Dark or Demon Souls games, or Sekiro or Bloodborne, but very much still in the vein of those types of games. But I think what really separates this game is that it went from kind of a level-based, somewhat linear structure to a more open-world structure, where you basically have a huge map to go through. You have so many different avenues that you can pursue at any time. It has really kind of helped, I think, bring in a lot more new players that maybe were a little bit hesitant to play the other games because they are very challenging. Having this open world structure really allows the player to go in different directions, and if they hit a roadblock, allow them to explore a different area, and then later, when they feel more confident or have gained more levels or better equipment, go back to those previous spots that were giving them difficulties, try again, and oftentimes succeed. Personally, this is my favorite From Software game. I think it just does so many things well. I think they've really learned from each of the different iterations, from Demon and Dark Souls to Sekiro and Bloodborne. I think this is the culmination of all the things they've learned over the years, and I really think they nailed it out of the park on this one, and I would be surprised if this wasn't Game of the Year for a lot of people. The last game I wanted to talk about was Tinytinas Wonderland. This is actually a spin-off of the Borderlands series, taking place in a fictional tabletop RPG setting, being run by Tiny Tina, one of the characters of Borderlands. And while this game stays very true to the Borderlands systems that they've had in place, I think it does enough to change it to kind of make it more fun, imaginative, and engrossing for the players than some of the previous installments they've had. If you like Borderlands, you're definitely going to like Wonderlands, but I think even if you haven't tried Borderlands, this would be a really good entry to jump in and just see if you like these games. So that's it. There's actually a lot of other games that came out in 2022 that I've really been enjoying, but I really wanted to just spearhead and spotlight these particular ones that I've had a lot of fun playing this year. And I think the next episode we'll probably be talking about what to expect in the later half of the year and some of the conferences that are coming up in the summer. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.